Do you reckon there'll ever be a civil war in the real United States or the United Kingdom?
No.
Why?
I don't know, it could be like secession from, the rest of the states or something, but there'll never be a civil war, especially not like the one in the movie Civil War, because, like Biden said, what's the point in having a gun? I got a plane here, just fly over your house, drop a nuke on it. It's pointless, you don't need a gun. But anyway, that leads nicely into talking about Civil War and how bad it is of a movie. Yeah, it basically follows these journalists. And they think they're really hardcore because they've been abroad. I don't know where they said they'd been. Did they say they've been to the Middle East at all?
Didn't even say they'd been anywhere specifically, did they?
No. If you haven't been to the Middle East, then you're not a journalist, are you? Not a war journalist, I mean, Yeah, because that's where all the fighting happens, let's be real. But yeah, so, Kirsten Dunst and her husband is the best character in this movie. He doesn't come into it till later. But she's like, this civil war's going on, I can get some real great snapshots here of people murdering people and stuff. Well, not murder, it was wartime, but some murder's allowed. Yeah, and she's with this Mexican guy with a terrible mustache. He says he's American, but he clearly isn't.
He might have been born in America, but his heritage is definitely outside of America.
Yeah. And also he's terrible at acting. And then you got the old guy, I forget his name. Yeah, he's a good actor in there. Plays a decent part.
Wasn't he in June?
Yeah, he was. He's the guy with his eyes roll on the back of his head. He's one of them boys, and he's like, coming up with stuff.
How the hell did he do that?
Yeah, because apparently he does it live on set, and he didn't CGI or anything.
Just does it. He's learned how to do it.
Yeah.
Citation needed on that one.
Yeah, I'm sure I've seen it somewhere. Yeah, and then you've got some insufferable girl. What's her name? Kaylee Spenny? Kaylee?
Yeah. I'll go with that.
I don't know. Is she in like some series or something? I think. I don't pay attention.
No.
I don't pay attention to these young actors, because none of them are any good, really, are they?
They haven't done anything to earn your attention, have they? Yeah.
No, I'm not looking for up and coming.
Yeah, unestablished.
Yeah.
Someone who bursts onto the scene as Micah Richardson.
Yeah. Like Sydney Sweeney burst onto the scene.
Right.
But yeah. Yeah, and then they're just like going through America. And there's like an alliance between the Californians and the Texans. Western Alliance. And they're like making their way across America towards DC. Got a great ground game going. Dominating on the field. And they're just sort of like, they're going there. They want to try and beat them there. Kirsten Dunst and the Mexican.
Yeah, because they want to interview the president because they know he's screwed, so they want to get his final scoop, so they can be the ones to say, "Oh, we got the president's final interview or final words or whatever."
Yeah. But of course, he's a fascist dictator, apparently. So obviously, he really hates the media. So why the hell would he, unless it's state-run media, why the hell would he give an interview to them? That's what started me thinking, this is going to be bad. Because it's just, he has no motivation to take an interview from these people.
Yeah. He just has his own people who he just rehearses a speech with them. Propaganda speech, and he just says everything's fine, stop fighting and all that.
Yeah, so they just sort of go through America really and get in various situations and they take photographs of it. just various war time situations. There's a couple we can go into, but I'll just summarize it first. Yeah. So the president, it's sort of meant to be apolitical, really, but at the same time, it's heavily leaning towards a left-wing point of view. There's a lot of rhetoric about Donald Trump. He'll try and get a third term as president, things like that. If he gets in this time, he won't let it go, sort of thing. So I just feel like the president in this movie sort of, sort of like a fever dream of what Donald Trump would do, But of course he wouldn't do that because he'd be crucified by his own side, wouldn't he, as well?
Yeah, respect for the tradition.
Yeah. But Donald says, he obviously won the last election, really, sort of thing, didn't he? He's like they cheated or whatever, but who cares? It is what it is. There's only a brief mention. I don't know what it meant. It said Kirsten Dunst was talking to the kid, and she was like, "Oh yeah, oh well, yeah." The kid was like, "Oh yeah, you got that great them great images of the Antifa massacre." And I was like, obviously, Antifa's some left-wing, radical organization that apparently doesn't exist, according to the left, but it does. And I didn't know whether it was a massacre of them or whether they were doing the massacring. I would assume they were doing the massacring. That would be more realistic.
I would assume they've been massacred. It's called that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it made it seem like, the movie. But in real life, they'd probably be doing the massacre. But, it is what it is. So that was another left-wing thing. At first I thought, yeah, maybe it is trying to have a go at them as well, because, they're quite extreme.
Radical.
Yeah, they're a radical, faction of the left as well. As you could say, people say MAGA Republicans or whatever. Or Christian nationalists, that seems to be a big thing at the moment. But yeah, either way, it was a left-wing movie. The president, he was all about glory unto God, the American way. Be a good American, that sort of stuff, wasn't he? And he was a bad guy, so I don't know what to think of that, but I don't know what else you can think of that, really.
There are good things like in your country and being loyal to something, and then they always make them seem like a bad thing.
Yep. But then, like we say, it didn't explain any of it. We have no idea why they were in this situation, why they were warring. We have no idea. So I can't say whether the politics of the movie either way, really.
It just showed you stuff. It didn't explain anything.
Yeah. You could say oh, they've been doing this for 3 or 4 years. This has been happening, and that's why we're at this point. That's all you have to do. It's just stupid. And then you got Florida as well. Apparently, Florida were doing some stuff down south, moving up, weren't they? They had some sort of, party moving up the country. But yeah, it was just a bad movie. It was just boring more than anything, wasn't
it? The things that they were photographing or witnessing weren't even that interesting with.
No.
They could have some Cold War stuff.
Yeah.
But no, it's just boring, a gun shootout, in a hospital or near a hospital.
Yeah.
It was just really boring. Nothing happened really.
No.
One guy got shot.
That was pretty funny, wasn't it? They were trying to cover him with smoke, and he still got shot.
Well, I don't know how he didn't get shot sooner. He was standing behind a really thin beam. And he was in some massive outfit when he was sticking out.
Yeah.
You could easily shoot him, just get an angle on him. They got the high ground.
Yeah.
And he's stuck, pinned behind a tiny beam. Just get an angle on him and shoot.
Yeah. Yeah. Um. So yeah, well, what's next then? Do you want to just go through a couple of the scenes?
Yeah, I want you to explain the scene at the gas station right at the beginning. He goes, they went there, they asked for gas, and then they're like, we take Canadian money. Because, apparently the American dollar's worth nothing now, is it? Because they're in a civil war.
Yeah.
But then this Christian dude, he had a Christian cross around his neck,
Mm-hmm.
and he takes the little girl and Kirsten Dunst to like captives, like captives. He's got chained up in the back in his car wash, I guess.
Yeah.
And
One of them, like, automated car washes. Them weird, like, furry things in it.
yeah, and then there's like two guys chained up, and they apparently tried to loot this gas station. And then he's chained them up. And that was like fair enough, isn't it? They're at war.
Yeah.
And they're trying to steal your stuff. Well, why did they make it seem like it was a bad thing that he'd done this?
No idea.
Like, it was horrible that, like, the girl after she was threw up or something, did she?
Yeah.
Disgusted by it.
She threw up in the car, like, didn't throw up out the window, which is really weird. Like, it was moving, the car was moving, they're on the road, and she was just throwing up in the seat. Like, she isn't actually even a child, she's 23. That's just so weird. She was just in the back, like, oh, Mom, I'm gonna throw up, and then she's like, oh, just do it out the window. And then she didn't even say anything, she just started throwing up.
Wait, did she throw up after? No, that was Jesse Plemons bit when she threw up. It wasn't the gas station.
Oh, yeah.
She was just offended at the gas station.
Yeah, she was raging. Yeah, because obviously we seen off the road, didn't we? Like, they were driving down, and they're like, and the old guy's like, oh, you've got to take any opportunity you can to get gas.
The Mexican guy's like, alright, I'll just pull in real quick, and he should have hid, shouldn't he? Because they're clearly white dudes.
Yeah, they're clearly white nationalists.
That's how they're portraying it.
Yeah. And he just gets out, he's like, oh yeah, this is an accepting country. Yeah, man, how's it going, man? That's what he's like. Hey, you got any tacos back there?
And then they weren't going to give him any fuel because, just from his appearance.
Yeah.
And then they said they had the Canadian dosh, so then he was like, alright, fair enough.
Yeah, she's
I'll
like,
deal with one of these.
yeah, Kirsten Dunst is like, oh yeah, we got 300 for half a tank. And he's like, that'll get you a sandwich. And then she's like, what about Canadian? And then he just... and then the girl walks off at that point, does it? So we just assume they get the gas. She's just there like, oh Jesus, these guys are beat up. And then the guy from the gas station follows around and he explained, like, Kirsten Dunst goes because she's like, oh, that looks a bit fishy. What's he following her for? And then the dude's like, oh yeah, this guy back in high school used to take the mick out of me basically, so got this opportunity here, so I strung him up.
Yeah, and he tried to loot his shop, so that's fair game.
Yeah, just give him an opportunity, didn't
we?
Which to do something he wanted to.
And then he gave him an ultimatum. He didn't know what to do with them because he had them there for a couple of days. And he was like, to these women, should I kill them now? And just 2 shots kill them, put them out of their misery? Or should I fuck around some more? Gestate.
Yeah.
For a few days, let them hang there, beat them up a bit, and then kill them. And then
did he say he was going to let him go?
Oh yeah, let him go.
Yeah.
And then they obviously said just kill him because apparently when they get back in the car, she says, can't believe you just shot him right in front of us or whatever. They didn't show that. They could have showed that.
I have no idea what actually happened there, really. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, surely you'd say, like, preserve his life. That doesn't make sense.
Surely you would endure 2 more days of torture for freedom.
Yeah. I don't know. It's stupid, and it's just a stupid movie. But yeah, the next thing, I don't know if we're skipping over stuff, but the Christmas thing, Christmas scene.
Yeah, someone's house still had Christmas decorations up or whatever.
Yeah, well, it's like in America they have these things, you just drive, it's just on the road. You just drive through this like Christmas winter wonderland thing, don't you? In your car. And it'd obviously been left over since Christmas because the war must have started like during the winter months or something. So no one's had a chance to take it down. And it provides great cover for the guy. There's a guy in like a big house, like I don't know how far he is. How far would you say? A few hundred feet.
Yeah, definitely.
He's like quite far away. Like he's a good shot. And he's like, he's got these two guys pinned in this winter wonderland. These unrelated guys. They've just been there. They're just stuck there basically because they got shot by him when they were driving through, I assume.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's one guy dead in the road, and
Yeah.
and he was part of their group, I guess.
Yeah. No, like Jesus Christ, he's just headshot him from like. I just seen him no scoping from like that distance.
Like an MLG.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're having a snipe off basically, when.
Yeah. And then girls being obnoxious. And I keep wanting to say little girl, but she's 23. But she's being obnoxious, like snapping photos of them and stuff. Yeah, it's like American Sniper action. He's like got one of them ghillie suits on.
Yeah, and someone's spotting for him. He's got a guy behind him spotting for him.
Yeah. He's over his back like that.
Yeah, he's like, right, 400 meters. I don't know, feet or whatever.
Yeah.
Aim there. Right, take the shot. Boom. That's something.
Yeah. And then he gets him at the end, doesn't he? Of that scene, basically.
Yeah.
But it's
He's
just...
like, oh, I got good news. He pulls the trigger. And you don't know what the hell's happened. And he's like, oh, I got good news, boys.
Yeah.
I got him.
Yeah.
And then they just drive off, don't they? No, it's safe, apparently.
Yeah. I just can't emphasize enough, like, how it just doesn't explain anything. Like, it doesn't explain motivations, like...
Yeah, why is this guy shooting at soldiers?
Yeah.
And, like, who are these soldiers? What side are they on? Like, you just really don't know when you're watching the film.
No.
I'm sure you could find out.
Because, like, they say, don't they, like, they're like, well, the journalists ask him, like, what side are you on? And he's like, well, at the moment I'm not really on a side because that guy's shooting at me and we're shooting at him. He's shooting at me, so I've got to shoot him back. Which is, the writer's trying to say, like, that's all war is. And, like,
you just
no
gotta survive. You're not taking orders at that moment, you're just trying to survive.
Yeah, no one's thinking of, like, the politics of what they're doing or, like, saving their country or whatever. They just want to survive, don't they, in the moment,
But then that doesn't help the audience because we don't know what the hell's going on there.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't know if this sniper guy we're following is the one we should actually be rooting for.
Yeah. But this is when we get to, like, middle America. Which is, like, obviously more Christian, more white, supposedly more racist and all that. So, this dude's just trying to protect his property or whatever, isn't he? And you've got some people who are just trying to live normal lives that they come across, and then, some people are just taking advantage of the situation.
Yeah, like Jesse Plemons.
Yeah. Doing some ethnic cleansing, wasn't it?
Yeah, just some Chinese guy comes and he just shoots him, doesn't he, just because he says he's Chinese?
Yeah.
He's just waiting for him to say he's Chinese so he can shoot.
Yeah, he's like, like these Chinese guys are journalists as well, and they're like sort of, well, they've been trailing Kirsten Dunst, just coming along for the ride. And then they get to this one town, and for some reason, one of the Chinese dudes climbs into Kirsten Dunst's car, and then the little girl climbs into the Chinese dude's car for some reason while they're driving. Like, I don't know why they do that, but... And then, the Chinese guy's a bit of a maniac on the road. He's like the Chinese guy from Fast and Furious. And he's going really fast. And then they just, Kirsten Dunst eventually catches up to their vehicle and it's empty. Of course, you're thinking like, oh god, some theocratic fascist sympathising. Some Matt Walsh lovers took this Chinese guy out of the car. Some Christian nationalist. You think, oh god, this could be the worst. He could be ginger as well. You know, the ultimate, like...
Yeah, a white Christian ginger.
Yeah.
It doesn't get worse than that.
You know, that is like the epitome of racism and evil. And as soon as you see one of them, if you're like a black guy or an Asian or something, you know you're in trouble. Like, even in today's world, I'm not even talking about Civil War.
Definitely.
That's
I get that all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. But anyway.
I'm black.
Yeah, you're black.
I got a lot of ginger friends.
Yeah.
I don't think they're trying to kill me.
Yeah. But yeah. So yeah, they go up to the house. They of course just drive up there thinking like, oh, what's the worst that can happen? And of course their worst fears are realised. There's a ginger man there. He's got, you know, them weird like pink tinted glasses on. So it just makes him look like he wants to murder someone, basically. He's got a shaved head.
He's definitely a gun nut.
Yeah, he's definitely... he's definitely got a whole room just dedicated to his gun collection. And he's got a couple of boys with him as well.
And he's clearly the man in power in this situation. Like, they're following his lead.
Yeah. And I should also note there's like a big ditch and it's got like a few people in it.
What race are they? I don't think it matters, does it?
I don't know, it's hard to tell because he was like pouring this like, I'm assuming flammable stuff on him. It was making them all look white. I'm assuming some of them were black. It was hard to tell.
Well, it's hard to tell him.
But yeah, those guys are racist. Basically, massive racist. So the Asian's there. And then the other Asian who's in the Kirsten Dunst car, he's stupid enough to get out as well. And he walks over there. Jesse Plemons is like, oh yeah, so where you from? You know, sort of thing. Or does he say it to the Mexican first?
Yeah, and then he's like Florida and he doesn't say anything to that. He's like, that's a bit suspect, but it is America, so...
Yeah, he's like, oh, well, you know, it's believable. You know, you could be born here because, you know, you come across the border, it's right, you know, it's right there, and, you know, I might let this guy pass, even though he looks Mexican.
And then the two girls say Colorado and some other one.
Yeah, some real great American states, you know, like proper middle America.
Yeah, and he's like, oh yeah, that's real America there.
Yeah. See, look, American. That's what he's like.
And then obviously he asks the Chinese guy where he's from.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, Hong Kong.
He says in the most Chinese way possible. He's like, oh, so China. He says it like Donald. That's like this. He purposefully says it like Donald. It's just cringe. He's like, oh, so China. BAM!
And then the Chinese guy before that was actually just crying because he just shot his brother.
Yeah.
I like his friend, I think it was his brother.
Oh yeah, he just shot the first Chinese guy on sight, right? He just wanted to make a point. You know, obviously the writer wanted to make a point that these people in America, there's like millions of them. You know, I know loads of them. If they had the chance, oh my god, they go to town on these Chinese ones.
They hate them. There'll be a mass shooting as soon as like the purge starts. There'll be a mass shooting of all minorities and these white men, mainly ginger and white men.
Yeah. You believe that? You believe anything? But whatever. It is what it is.
If that was true, then it would just happen right now, and what's stopping them from doing it right now?
Yeah.
Right, so it's not going to happen, is it?
No.
Come on.
I don't know. That just reminded me of that Purge movie. You know, it's just so bad, wasn't it?
Mexican people in it trying to cross somewhere.
Yeah, just trying to say like these white people would just hunt down the Mexicans, basically, wasn't it? That's what the whole movie.
If there's no crime.
Yeah.
For a day or whatever.
But anyway, they, you know, all this happens, and then the fat old guy, he's hanging back because in the vehicle the journalists are driving. He just goes in and rams Jesse Plemons into the into the mass grave.
Yeah.
And also the girl, but she survives. But Jesse Plemons is dead. Which is probably good because he's a bit of a psychopath. But then on the way out, one of Jesse Plemons' boys doesn't get hit, and he manages to clip the old guy as he's leaving. He just clips the side of him, and he ends up bleeding out by the time they get to, the Western Alliance's base, army base, which is, on the frontier of DC. But there's no emotion there. I didn't feel bad for him at all. I just thought, why the hell's he come along, really? I think where did he want to get to? Charlottesville?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. He made it there, but he was dead. Unfortunately.
So that was a failed success.
Yeah.
What's that?
We got it.
That meme, task executed. No, I can't remember the meme. There's something like task failed successfully or something.
Yeah, you did the thing you wanted to do, but you died.
Yeah. I'll try and find it and put it on the screen.
Yeah. Yeah. But then anyway, they get to DC, and that's when the only scenes that are maybe worth seeing in IMAX happen.
There's a massive gun fighting.
Yeah. The government army forces are there. They got DC sort of they get a bit pinned in. It's like the fall of Berlin. And they're just taking it from all angles, like on the rooftops, big tanks coming in, mortars, everything in them.
And just cars drive right up to them as portable cover, and then men just come out from behind the cars and just shoot them up to these towers and whatever.
It's like it's like Battle Royale, and it's like, you just whip around a car, use it as cover, that sort of thing.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, probably the stupidest thing was when they send out that dummy limo and, Secret Service convoy, don't they?
The president's escaping, and they light the vehicle up, obviously, because there's loads of people there and loads of tanks. And then they all fall for it, the president was definitely in there.
Yeah, even though a couple of staffers just jump out the limo and they're like, "Oh, please don't shoot me!" in the
No mercy. They're surrendering, but no mercy. This is a society we want to live in.
Yeah.
There's no mercy.
We're the good guys.
Yeah. We're the good guys, but we won't show you any mercy.
So yeah, of course, the White House is completely unguarded at that point. And of course, actually, I should mention, they're destroying all of the great monuments in the nation's capital. Every one you can think of is destroyed. Destroying every remnants of America.
Yeah.
And its great traditions and foundations. Oh my god.
That's apparently a good thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they don't say if it's a good thing, but we don't know if it's a good thing or not in this universe.
You have to assume it because they're doing it. If they didn't want to do it, then they wouldn't show it happening, would
they? Yeah. Yeah, Kirsten Dunst is like, I got this sense here, the president's not in that car, I just got this sense because he just drove into all them tanks, so I'm assuming he's not in it. But no one else realised, like you said, so she just walks into the White House.
Yeah, and what a logical next step is that he's just in the White House, sitting in some unguarded area.
Yeah.
He hasn't gone out through the secret tunnels or gone out on a helicopter or even. He's just chilling there, waiting for his death.
Yeah. And they just go in, basically, there's a bit of back and forth gunfights with they got some sort of they're clearly military trained, weren't they, the guys for the Western Alliance who were infiltrating with Kirsten Dunst.
Yeah.
Because they were just taking out the Secret Service agents who were in there. In protection. Yeah. And then right in the last doorway, stupid girl walks out into the open, doesn't she?
Yeah. And she tries to get a picture just completely nothing, like an empty doorway.
Yeah.
For no reason. And then she's obviously going to get lit up by the CIA. So Kirsten Dunst jumps in the way and pushes her to the ground and takes a hail of bullets and dies right in front of the girl.
Yeah.
And then earlier in the film, she said, if I died, the girl said, if I died with Kirsten Dunst, take a picture of me. And then obviously when Kirsten Dunst dies, the girl takes a picture of her.
Yep. Yeah, it's just unsettling, really, isn't it? It's whatever. Yeah. Who cared at that point of the movie? You just wanted it to end, didn't you?
When I think about the president just staying there, like, maybe if he just stayed there, and like when they came in, he filmed it like a man and he knew he was gonna die. And he was just like, alright, I've lost. But no, he begged for his life. So why the fuck did he stay there if he didn't want to die?
Yeah.
He has ways to get out, he's the president.
Yeah.
Surely he has ways to save his own life.
No, well, yeah, you can obviously, there's obviously Air Force in there in the sky as well, opposing him, but he could have done some sort of strategy, couldn't he, like, to get away? Some covert operation, because he knew they were closing in on DC because it was taking days, wasn't it? I don't know.
And I think it should have just, like, you either do the thing where he escapes, or he films it, takes the L. But no, he just does none and just begs like a bitch.
Yeah, that was the whole point, wasn't it? Make him seem like a coward, basically. Even though, he could have just said, like, I did what I thought was right for America or something, couldn't he? Or something like that,
Could have given him some dignity.
Yeah. He's a president, you gotta have some respect for the president, even if it's Joe Biden or Donald Trump, it doesn't matter, does it? You gotta have some respect. He's the leader of the country, he's been voted in by half the people in the country, basically. So. You gotta give him some respect. You don't just, it's just stupid, isn't it? Anyway, that's where the movie ends, and it's terrible. The writing's awful. It was trying to be apolitical, but didn't achieve it, in my opinion.
And it was, more importantly, boring.
Yeah. Oh my god, yeah.
It's like, who the hell wants to watch a boring movie, really?
Yeah. Yep.
It could be all political, it could be completely left-wing, and it could still be entertaining, but this... or right-wing. But this just wasn't entertaining in the slightest.
No. So yeah, I think, what star rating we giving it? Just a 1.
Yeah, 1.
Yeah.
It's not bad like Monkey Man, offensive bad, it's just really bad, isn't it?
No, it did offend me, but I'm not, not in sort of the way Monkey Man did.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lose sleep over this film, or think about it ever again.
No. It's just one of them, it's just gone in the wind now, it's just, it's irrelevant, basically.
Yeah, it happened, and now it's gone.
Yeah.
Sayonara.
Yeah. Sayonara.